Over the last couple of days, I've been asked several times what I think about this whole Sergeant Bergdahl thing. Do I think this guy was worth bringing back? Especially, do I think he was worth releasing, 5 or 4 or whatever it was, prisoners of war that we released to get him returned to us? Well, I don't know about everybody else out there that was in the military, but when I was in the military, there was one thing that we all held to be true. One thing that we all believed in, one thing that we all never really had any problem with, and I've never seen anyone have a problem with up until now. And that was the idea that we don't leave soldiers behind, period. We didn't create some sort of litmus test to decide whether they were worthy of bringing back, or which soldiers were good enough to bring back, or which ones did something wrong or did something right, or etc. We just brought back every soldier we possibly could. No soldier left behind. And up until now, I've never met a person that wore the uniform that had a problem with that principle, that had a problem with that idea. And one thing that I am seeing now, the people that have a lot of problem with it, are people that have never worn a uniform in their life. A bunch of politicians, like this, the foreign policy spokesman for Romney's campaign that is crafting a strategy for how they can demonize this guy to win political points. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. These worthless politicians have never put on a uniform in their life, and they want to tell the military who they deem worthy of bringing back and who they don't. Keep your noses out of it. The military can police their own. They have their own system. If they want to bring back their soldiers, they bring back their soldiers. And then if they want to make him stand trial for something he did, they'll make him stand trial for it. And as far as all this stuff of trying him in the media that we've seen lately and all these little snippets of things he did or things he said, a lot of soldiers got disillusioned when we were over there. A lot of people saw things that they couldn't believe in and they couldn't stand behind. That's not that uncommon. Now, he might have went further with it than a lot of people did, but, that's on him. He lives in a country where he can dissent. He lives in a country where he doesn't have to agree. He lives in a country where he can be disgusted with his government and not have to worry about it. And let's also remember the same people that are feeding us all this stuff that he did wrong and why he shouldn't be brought back are the same people that created the whole Jessica Lynch lie that turned out to be a complete fabrication. So let's take everything they say with a grain of salt until it's proven to us. And as far as the prisoners that got released, people say, well, what do you think about that? They should have been released as far as I'm concerned. I know that's not going to be a popular opinion, but I, for one, am not a big fan of the U.S. government having the right to hold people indefinitely without charges. Charge them or let them go. You can't hold someone simply because they might be a threat. People are like, oh, but if you release these guys, they'll be a threat to us later. Yeah, well, you don't just charge people on things they might do or things that they could possibly do or even things that they may want to do in the future. You have to let them go until they commit a crime. And they didn't charge them with anything. They couldn't charge them with anything. They were prisoners of war, basically. Well, last time I checked, the war was over, and we don't hold prisoners of war. Our country's better than that. So as far as I'm concerned, these guys should have been turned over to their own governments, let their own governments deal with them. Trying to stop terrorism by trying to hold 2 or 3 or whatever, however many specific people, that's backwards ass thinking. That's like trying to solve violence by getting rid of guns. You're not going to do it that way. You have to deal with the root problems. So as far as I'm concerned, it all comes down to no soldier left behind. I don't care who they are or what they did. If they did something wrong, we'll punish them for that, but we still don't leave soldiers behind. And anyone that's got a problem with that, you've either never worn a uniform or, in my opinion, you don't understand what it stood for.